It is with great pleasure that I request the first awardee of the day, Dr. Padmaja, to address the gathering.
My pranams at the charanam of Sri Baba, and also my heartfelt pranams at the charana of Easwaramma. The spiritual wing, women's wing of Satya Sai group and its members, Srimati Vandita Sharma, Pushpalata Patil and Madhuka Pani ma'am, and Srimati Nirmala Murthy ma'am, and Padma Arun, and my dear fellow friends who believe in the spirit of love and service. Today morning I realized I have just gone to various institutions for various functions, but I could just feel the spirit of love and service in the hearts of women who did every other work with so much pleasure, which is so heartening to me. It is very endearing to see all the young ladies, young people here who believe in spirit of service and love, which is a rare thing now. They go around the world, achieve everything, come back and realize something is not right. Finally to find love and spirit. That I think the young people have done it today, which is to the credit of all the Satya Sai senior members. So please tell me when I overshoot the time. So I am baffled, astounded and astonished at the amount of service the Satya Sai group of institutions has done. I knew it, but it just got reinforced in the morning when I just read about the Satya Sai institutions. Having given emotional, spiritual, physical happiness to various millions of souls around the world, in the three wings it has chosen: service, education, and spirituality. I feel such a micro person in front of so much achievement, especially through the medium of seva and love, and the pure love which Baba gave to all the devotees across the world. For me, it is a very great honor standing here to be recognized by the grace and presence of the Baba and their devotees, to really teach me to walk the path of love and service once again, to reinforce that belief in me. I'm just so humbled, and it just comes out from my heart. I don't have prepared speech, so it's all coming from the heart. I'm here, I always would say very proud to represent a group of medicos. Today I remove that word proud. So I'm just here with love to represent a group of doctors no one could imagine at the age of 17 and 18 who came out from Mysore Medical College and just decided to go and work for the tribal people. Although they were not qualified to dispense medicines, they just took one doctor who had the license to dispense medicines and went along. There was no differentiation between caste, creed, gender, nothing. Some 40 people went to the tribal hamlet. They saw the conditions of the tribal poor who were twice displaced. Once with the Kabini reservoir displacement, they were totally thrown out of their settlements and on the street, not knowing what to do. And the second time it was the Project Tiger, which just threw them out of their homes from the forest. They were not rehabilitated properly. They were just thrown into a hamlet. They didn't know what to do. So these men and women just went and saw their plight And they saw a lot of diseases like scabies, gastroenteritis, and so many diseases. So they were going every week, carrying all the samples from the medical college. They used to go beg of the professors, collect samples, go back and do it. As they kept doing it, every week it was the same prescription. After 10 days they would come back cured. Once again the same person, same thing. This group of doctors kept thinking, we are just going, prescribing the medicines, killing the bacteria and the virus. What is the solution to it? So we just every week, it's never ending. You just go on prescribing, killing bacteria and viruses. What is the solution to it? So then they thought, we have to empower them to prevent this. So then all the people who were coming there were all aged, who would probably pass the age of changing. So they decided to teach the next generation about empowerment and about prevention of health. So then they caught hold of the students who were very happy playing by the river, in the forest. They wouldn't come. They didn't like I, or ABCD. They saw no value for it. So these people thought best way to get them to the school as they called. These young women and men, mind you, they were just probably by 20 years by now, okay? They just were fired by the zeal of the teachings of Swami Vivekananda, and they didn't have money. They themselves were on educational loans. Every other parent scolded them and said, instead of sitting and studying, you're going and doing some service. What kind of a service is that? First look after yourself. So they begged the government, and the government gave them one dilapidated sericulture building, which they themselves, set it right. And they didn't know cooking. So they tried to make some ragi balls because the tribals only knew how to eat that, and all they wanted to do is get some ragi flour, ragi hit tagondu. Then they didn't have money for ragi flour, so they started growing ragi. So they used to give them the midday meals, then hold them for 3 hours, teach them. So then slowly they built a school. Then they thought education and Medicare is not enough, not at all enough. You have to teach them socio-economic development for them to really be empowered and mainstream them. So they started various way of right livelihood for them. So they got into all sorts of training, be it sericulture, bakery, dairy, everything was taught, experimented, taught about agriculture. And this group was so energetic. When I first came and joined the group, I was so inspired by what they were doing. The meetings used to go on till night 2. I was just a graduate out of medical school. I didn't know what they were saying about development because the medical school had not taught me development, socio-economic empowerment. So at 11 o'clock I would be dozing. They said, oh, wake up, drink a cup of tea, listen to what he's saying. I said, I'm not understanding. They said, you will eventually. Keep concentrating, keep focus. So then all the people had just then finished their MBBS schools. They really were passionate about really bringing the development into this tribal society. So they all went back, did their post-graduation, came back. Now we had a very strong group of doctors who had finished their post-graduation. We were around 10 and 12 of them. So like Nalini ma'am said, so we used to go on house calls, and then once one of my friend went on a house call. The lady had just delivered. Then he said, okay, delivery happened, so I don't have to stay here. He came back. After the next day, he came to know, after he came back, she bled to death. So he was feeling so bad that he could have stayed back for one more. So how long to stay? We didn't know. So we introduced this reproductive child health program where each Hardy or hamlet will have a healthcare facilitator who will know the ways of Jenu Kurubas and Kadu Kurubas, who were the tribals, because they don't open up with anybody. So we went on an ambulance to teach them health. The moment they heard the noise of the ambulance, they used to run away 2 kilometers away. So we didn't know what to do. So slowly we used to park the vehicle somewhere else, stealthily walk and just catch them. So they used to hide inside their houses in some room somewhere. So we used to go to the house, get them out and give. So this was a program of reaching the unreached. All our field workers, all our doctors still today go on mobile health visit into each of the nook and corners, get them out, bring them back to the hospital and give them the necessary care. So after the small hospital, we started a bigger hospital. We thought the tribals were poor and uneducated. Even the non-tribals were equally at a very vulnerable stage, very poor and all that. So this was a secondary care hospital. We started in 2001 in Saragur. That is where I stay now. This was a small hospital, and we didn't believe rural means no quality. So the Saragur hospital now has latest equipment which is equivalent to a city. We never believed, the group never believed, rural means low quality or low standard. So we have the best of the surgeons. We have cardiology and neurology and nephrology people visiting us, doing service for last 20 years in the hospital. So giving care to all the rural people. And this hospital rolls out an annual subsidy of nearly 50 lakhs to the tribal patients, where we donate that money. The hospital has never stopped treatment because somebody didn't have money. They always gave the treatment, raised donations. So this is the story of totally selfless young people. They were from the best of the institutions, rank holders from all the premier institute. Any part of the world would have just embraced them for their talent, but they just stayed on to give help to the vulnerable and the rural people of Kabini forests. The other amazing thing which every youth has to learn is, initially I found it very, being from a middle class family, I always knew, haske dashtu kalu chachu. How much money you have, plan for spending that much. But these guys were amazing. They had a balance sheet of first day 30 rupees. They planned for 4 lakhs for the reproductive child health program. I said, are you crazy? You don't have money. Where do you bring the money? Then they used to go to every other house, every other ashram, every other donor, get the money, and they started. So organization never thought of future building and all that. They just were bothered about serving the last body in that area. So our administrative costs are about just 4.5%, which will be very high in other corporate hospitals. And we are sure that every rupee which is donated will go to the last beneficiary, and the administrative costs will not eat it up. And the hospital has been awarded the UN Civil Society Awards for their non-discriminatory care for the rural, tribal and the HIV affected people. And the hospital has been awarded national level, Center of Excellence level trophies for their care for the HIV affected people. People from all over Karnataka, 23 districts of Karnataka and neighboring states also come, because there is absolutely no discrimination, and every HIV patient is looked upon as God. So that is the kind of service. And as I was looking through Baba's teachings in the morning, so Shivagnane Jiva Seva and do good, be good, feel good, these are the two principles by which all these doctors started service, and it all looked similar to what we were doing. And so the only message I have is, don't be scared, dream big. Whatever you want to do, you dream and the rest will follow. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your inspiring words. I now request Srimati Shakuntala Devi Manli Patil to address the gathering.
ಓಂ ಶ್ರೀ ಸಾಯಿರಾಮ್. ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಅನುಮತಿ ಕೇಳಿ ನಾನು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಈಶ್ವರಮ್ಮ ಪುರಸ್ಕಾರದ ವೇದಿಕೆಯನ್ನು ಅಲಂಕರಿಸಿದಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ನನ್ನ ಹಿರಿಯ ಸಹೋದರಿಯರೇ, ಈ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನಿನ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರೇ, ಪದಾಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳೇ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೆರೆದಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಾಯಿಬಾಬಾನ ಭಕ್ತ ಮಂಡಳಿಯ ಅಂತರಾತ್ಮಕ್ಕೆ ನನ್ನ ಶರಣಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು. ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಈ ದಿನ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನಿಂದ 450 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟ್ರ್ ದೂರದಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಧಾರವಾಡ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯ ಕೊನೆಯ ಹತ್ತಿರದ ಹಳ್ಳಿ, ಕೊಪ್ಪಳ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯ ಕೊನೆಯ ಹಳ್ಳಿ, ಕೇವಲ 1000 ಮನೆಗಳಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಹಳ್ಳಿಯಿಂದ ಬಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಬ್ಬ ಮಹಿಳೆಗೆ ಈ ಸಾಯಿಬಾಬಾ ಟ್ರಸ್ಟ್ನಿಂದ ಪುರಸ್ಕಾರ ಮಾಡಿರೋದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ತುಂಬು ಹೃದಯದ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಪ್ರಥಮವಾಗಿ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀನಿ. ನಾನು ಕೂಡ ಕೇವಲ PUC ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪಟೇಲರ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮದುವೆ ಆಯಿತು. ಆವಾಗಿನ ಕಾಲಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮದೆಲ್ಲ ಘೋಷ, ಹೊರಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳು. ಅಂಥ ಒಂದು ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಯಜಮಾನರು ಲೆಕ್ಚರ್ ಆದ ಕಾರಣ ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸವನ್ನು ಮುಂದುವರಿಸಿ ಅವರ ಸಹಕಾರದಿಂದ ಗುಲ್ಬರ್ಗಾದಲ್ಲಿ BAಯನ್ನು ಮುಗಿಸಿದೆ. ಅವರ ನಂತರ ನಾನು ಅವರ ರಿಟೈರ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ 95ರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಮತ್ತೆ ಹಳ್ಳಿಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳನ್ನು ಕಂಡು ನಾನು ಒಳಗೆ ಕೂತ್ರೆ ನನ್ನ ಮನಸ್ಸು ತಡಿಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಅದಕ್ಕೇನಾದರೂ ಸ್ಪಂದಿಸಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ನಿರ್ಧಾರ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಯಜಮಾನರ ಸಹಕಾರ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಾನು ಮಹಿಳೆಯರ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಸ್ಪಂದಿಸಲು ಹೊರಗೆ ಕಾಲಿಟ್ಟೆ. ಆ ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಥಮವಾಗಿ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ತಮ್ಮ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದಂತೆ ತಾಲೂಕಿನಾದ್ಯಂತ ನನ್ನ ಚಲನೆ ಮಾಡಿ 89 ಮಹಿಳಾ ಮಂಡಳಗಳನ್ನು ರಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಅವರ ಕಷ್ಟ ಸುಖ ಹಂಚಿಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತ. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಹಿಳಾ ಮಂಡಳಗಳನ್ನು ಕೂಡಿಸಿ ಒಂದು ಒಕ್ಕೂಟವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ವಿ ತಾಲೂಕು ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ. ಆ ಥರ ಒಕ್ಕೂಟದ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಅವ್ರನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕರೆದು ಯಾವುದೇ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳನ್ನು ಪರಿಹರಿಸಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಆ ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಇನ್ನೂ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅನುಕೂಲತೆಗಳಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ತೊಗೋಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಇರ್ತವೆ, ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಮಹಿಳೆಯರ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಾಗಿ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಗಳನ್ನು, ಈ ಸ್ಟಿಚಿಂಗ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಈ ದೇವದಾಸಿ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರಿಗೆ ಎಂಬ್ರಾಯ್ಡ್ರಿ, ನಿಟ್ಟಿಂಗ್, ಈ ಥರ ಅನೇಕ ಒಂದು ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಪಡೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕೆ ಯಶಸ್ವಿ ಆದ್ವಿ. ನಂತರ ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ಸಹಾಯಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಸಹಕಾರಿ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯನ್ನು ಕಟ್ಟಿದ್ವಿ ತಾಲೂಕು ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ. ಆ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯಿಂದ ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಇನ್ನೂ ಬೇಕಪ್ಪ ನಮ್ಮ ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ಸಹಾಯ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಡೀ ನಾವೇ ಶೇರ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ 18 ಲಕ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಮಹಿಳಾ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕನ್ನು ಸ್ಥಾಪನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಆ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿನ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಸಣ್ಣ ಸಣ್ಣ ಸಾಲಗಳನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಅವರ ಆರ್ಥಿಕವಾಗಿ ತಮ್ಮ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆ ಆರ್ಥಿಕವಾಗಿ ಸಬಲರಾಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಸಹಾಯವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಈ ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ನಾವು ತಿಳಿದಿರುವಂತೆ ಅನೇಕ ಸಂಘಗಳನ್ನು ಸ್ಥಾಪನೆ ಮಾಡಿದರ ಉದ್ದೇಶದಿಂದ ನನಗೆ ಮೈಸೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠ ಸಹಕಾರಿ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿ ಲಭ್ಯವಾಯಿತು. ಅದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ನಾನು ಹಳ್ಳಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗಿ ಕೂಡ ನನ್ನ ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ ವಿದ್ಯಾವಂತರನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಸಂಸ್ಕಾರವಂತರನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಆ ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೂ ಒಬ್ಬ ಮಗಳು BA, ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬಳು ಮಗಳು BCom, ಮೂರನೇ ಮಗಳು MSc, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮಗ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಬ್ಬರು ಮಗ ಸೊಸೆ ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಮೇರಿಕಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ಮಗ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರು, ಸೊಸೆನೂ ಕೂಡ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈ ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ 6 ತಿಂಗಳ ಅಮೇರಿಕಾ ಕೂಡ ನಾನು ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪರಿಸರವನ್ನು ಕಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಆದರೂ ನನ್ನ ಈ ಹಳ್ಳಿಯ ಗಾಡಿನ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿ, ಆ ಸಂಸ್ಕಾರ ಅದನ್ನು ಬಿಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಅನುಕೂಲತೆಗಳನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಂಥ ಸಾಯಿಬಾಬಾನಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರಗಳನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸುತ್ತಾ ನನಗೆ ಮಾತನಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಟ್ಟಂಥ ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಹೊಂದಿಸಿ ನನ್ನ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಮುಗಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ.
Om Sai Ram. My very humble pranams at the lotus feet of our Lord, Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba. Dear dignitaries on the dais, Dr. Madhu Kapani, Dr. Padmaja, Madam Shakuntala Mali Patil, Srimati Padma Arun, Srimati Nirmala Murthy, our dear Sai sisters and brothers. First and foremost, I must offer my humble thanks to our Lord Bhagwan for giving me this opportunity to come and stand here. So far, in my several decades of my life, I have had the great blessings and opportunity of sitting there and having the utmost benign blessings of His divine darshan. Today, I do not think I am really competent to speak here. I have to thank the organizers for giving me this wonderful opportunity to hear two lovely women. I think I'm here not because of anything I have done, but because I would like to acknowledge and congratulate Srimati Padmaja and Srimati Shakuntala Mali Patil on the wonderful, wonderful work they have done in their fields. In our society, as we all know, it's not that easy for a woman to come up and do work outside the home. Our societal traditionally pattern has been that the women do take care of the home, and that actually has been acknowledged wonderfully by Swami. He used to always say that you are the homemakers, so you make society, and you make nation, and you make the globe. So we are the foundation stones of the society. Here we have examples of two women who have not only done that, but have also come out and have served society with so much of selflessness, so much of love, and so much of sacrifice. I really acknowledge and appreciate both the women here. This itself leads us to think what all women can do in society. Why do we feel the need for women empowerment? Let us think about the very nature of women. The very nature of women, when we think of women, the first thing that comes to our mind is that we are a little emotional by nature. We have a lot of feelings within us, and we have a lot of love and compassion within us. Who can be more loving than a selfless mother? The unconditional love of a mother for her children is unparalleled. By nature, women are very gentle and loving in one side. On the same side, on the other side of the coin, the same woman is also made of steel. There is so much of strength in a woman that we have seen over the past history, historically, centuries, and even today, how the women have been able to tolerate adversity, to come out strong. They have been able to uphold their families, give them the strength to fight adversity, to fight difficult times. So we have a wonderful combination here that God has given us in the form of women. On the one side, gentleness, and the other side, strength. What better than we combine the two? We have seen it here. We have seen it in many other quiet, silent workers in our society who combine these two capacities, combine these two give God-given qualities and serve the society. Today's society is a very, what can I say? It's heading towards a violent society. Every day when we see the newspaper, we read the newspaper, and we don't want to see the newspaper in the morning. You only talk of strife in society. We are listening to discretion. We are listening to breakup in society. We are not listening or talking about the uniting of society. Whereas in a house, what is the task of a woman? All of us are wonderfully achievers in the task of uniting our families. I think most of the women are peacemakers in their families. This is what is required in the world today. The inherent love and peacemaking quality of women if we bring it to the decision making at the global level, at the national level, in the society, I am 100% sure that the violence-torn society will become a peace-loving society. In fact, I can say something here. My husband always says, if we always had women as the heads of the governments, we would never have had wars. So, and I do think that is true to some extent, because by nature, women are not violent. It does not deprive us of our ego. Yes, we all still have egos, we are all human. But by and large, women do not believe in violence. There is a lot of opportunity that we have missed by not bringing in women into the decision-making powers or in the arenas. Today, that is happening. A lot of work is happening by bringing women. You may have heard that the Canadian Prime Minister has brought 50% of his ministers as women. And somebody asked him, why did you do that? And he said, because this is our new century. Because women constitute 50% of the society. I do not want to miss out on the qualities, on the wonderful enigma of women. Let us also bring them in. Let us also take their views in decision making. And I am sure that such societies will progress even farther, even more by leaps and bounds. There is a lot that women can do. There is also a lot that has to be done for women. While I was hearing Dr. Padmaja and Shakuntala Maliji, I was thinking of that. Because in my area of work too, I deal a lot with the underserved section of society. And believe me, there are poor men and poor women, but the plight of the poor women is really, really bad. They do not even have access to good health facilities. Education is out of bounds for them. In a poor family, when food is served, the lady of the house will always eat in the end because she will eat only the leftover. So the nutritional levels of the women of India are very, very poor. We really need to focus on how we can bring up the women of our country. Through the government programs that we do, there are many, many programs that are focused on women. I will not go into details. I will only say that yes, there is a lot of criticism of the implementation and conceiving of the programs of the government, but I have seen it with my eyes. Many quiet officers, officials, employees of the government who have been doing a fair amount of work at the field level and trying to make a difference. The thing is that the coverage of the government programs is very large and the butter is spread very thin. So ultimately, we do not see much happening, but we know that that is the strata of society, that is the section of society which does not have a forum. They are not visible. The poor of our society need to be served. That is where we need to focus our attention on. And I feel we do need to focus our attention very strongly on the women. If we educate them, if we give them better quality of health, we can definitely bring up further leaders in our society. The improvement in the quality of the women of our families will definitely lead to the improvement in the quality of the men and women in the society. And the improvement of society obviously leads to the betterment and development of the nation and the world as a whole. I do not want to say much more on this. I can only say that with the blessings of our beloved Lord, we have always seen him doing so much of service. And he specifically set up women's institutes. He also has been specifically observing Ladies' Day, and the amount of respect and love our Bhagwan gave to his own mortal mother, Srimati Easwaramma, was amazing. That itself is enough for us to see. He said, my life is my message. And having seen that, if we can grasp even a small percentage of what he did for the society, I am sure, and if we can do a little bit of it, and we can change ourselves to become what he wanted us to become, we would have achieved our goal in life, and we would have been able to live up to his ideals. Our Indian scriptures have always said that women are the Adya Shakti, we always have believed in the concept of Prakriti and Purusha. I do not think, at least the Hindus believe that both yin and yang, the Prakriti and Purusha together alone can make the universe work. So I would also like to say that it is the upliftment of both women and men together that can lead to the upliftment of society. Let me say, it is not a question of one-upmanship. It is not a question of firebrand feminism. No, nobody wants to become better than the other. If we can only become complete in ourselves, complete with the love and compassion that has been showered into us, complete with the strength of character that God has given us, and become holistic human beings that can serve, love everybody, have a lot of compassion, serve everyone, and lead our lives with the holy name of Swami on our lips, we would have done our job. Thank you very much. Sankar.
Thank you, ma'am, for enlightening us on women empowerment. It gives me immense pleasure in introducing Professor Madhu Kapani, who is the director of Anandpur Women's College and is highly respected and greatly loved by her students. Ma'am, may I request you to address the gathering?
My most humble and loving pranams at the lotus feet of Bhagwan Baba. Respected State President of Karnataka, Shri Thakappa, former Vice Chancellor, Shri V.K. Gokak of the Institute, Shri Gangadhar Shetty, to whom I was personally introduced by Bhagwan inside Vrindavan, Srimati Nirmala Murthy, Dr. Padmaja, Srimati Shakuntala Patil, Vandita Sharma, Padmaja Arun, all the respected elders, my colleagues, sisters and brothers, a loving Sairam to all of you. I am falling short of words and feeling very nostalgic because it was here in 1986, September 18th, I started my career in Bhagwan's institution. After 30 long years, I stand on the same platform when Bhagwan started the B.Ed program for the Anantapur campus. As the building over there was under construction, we were housed in the second building here. Upstairs, the students were staying, and downstairs, we had our classes. I had never ever dreamt that I would get an opportunity to stand here and address all of you. I'm really humbled, and I'm thankful and grateful to Bhagwan and also to Nirmala ji and her team for giving me this opportunity of sharing some of my views with you. I was asked to speak on women empowerment, but then I've just heard the speakers, and I felt let me just share a few of my experiences with Bhagwan rather than speaking about women empowerment. We've already heard about it. Shakespeare, in his play Hamlet, has addressed the women as frail and weak, whereas Bhagwan says that women is Shakti, women is Sati, and women is Graha Lakshmi. He has given a lot of importance to mother and motherhood. I remember whenever Bhagwan spoke to us, and especially to the outgoing students, he would always say that keep up the name of the family, keep up the name of the institution, make your parents happy. And invariably, to all the outgoing students, he would also say that very soon you girls would be getting married. And he would give them tips how to run the family, how to take care of the family, and how to avoid clash. Swami would say that suppose your husband comes late, don't shoot questions after questions and ask him, where were you, what were you doing, and all that. Instead, receive him with a smile, with a glass of water in your hand, let him settle down, and then slowly you can ask him what you want to ask. This will help in maintaining peace in the family. Otherwise, it will lead to conflict and mistrust, which should not happen. And so it is in the hand of the lady, just as my predecessor was saying, that it's in the hand of the lady that the home, the peace in the home could be maintained. I remember once I had asked Swami, I said, Swami, every time you say ladies should do this, don't men have any responsibility? And Bhagwan said, of course, they also. And in that context, he said, they should understand that if the lady of the home cries, if women cry, there will be no prosperity at home. And so they should also cooperate and understand and give equal importance to the women of the home. Again, coming down to the dress code, Bhagwan would always mention that chastity and modesty are the two crown jewels of a woman. They should not go beyond the boundaries. Only then women will be respected. Yesterday night, when I was just taking around here, I saw all these sayings of Bhagwan. I had planned to speak on them, but then I thought, everything is written, everybody knows everything about what Bhagwan has spoken on women, importance of women, women empowerment. What more can I tell the audience? And it is then that I felt that no, I should share my experience, that how much importance Bhagwan has given to the education of women. You all know that Anantapur campus is the first institution in the chain of institutions started by Bhagwan, because he said, if one woman is educated, if one lady of the house is educated, the entire family is educated. Whereas if you educate one boy, it's only the boy or the man who is educated. As mentioned earlier, Bhagwan respected women, and especially his mother. We all know that it was at the request of Easwaramma that we got these educational institutions. She wanted a school for the village girls. She wanted a small hospital, a dispensary, and water. But Bhagwan, out of his mercy, has given us educational institutions, the water project, super specialty hospitals, mobile hospitals, and lot of work that is being done both by ladies and by men. I was also thinking that we quote a lot from history. We say that Gandhiji, Vivekanand, Shivaji, they all became what they became because of their mothers. And mothers are the first teachers. At home, it is the child who learns not only the language, learns about the culture, about behavior, everything from the mother. And so the mother holds a very important, pivotal place in the society. Sometimes it is sad to know the way women are being treated, but as mentioned, women, if they have a soft heart, they are also women of steel who can do whatever they want to do and achieve and be at par with what men are doing in all fields and all walks of life. Once, a lady, is a small, not a story, and something which really happened in life. which I would like to narrate. A lady goes in search of a job. She is called for an interview. And at the reception desk, the clerk asks, "Ma'am, what are you doing?" Maybe he wanted to know what she's doing so that he can put her in the list and send her to the panelists accordingly. She says, "I'm a housewife, a mother," and she sees the changed expressions. Smart as she was, she immediately changes and she says, "I am a research associate." She is let in. She faces the panelists, where she is asked the same question, and there she says that I am a research associate. I have got continuous work, and when asked which area do you research in, and she said in child development and human resource. Which women is not? And she continued to say that I work 14 hours a day and I don't work for money. It's the satisfaction that I get out of it. I work for my master, that is her husband. I work for the family. I have got 3 credits, and here she was referring to the 3 daughters that she's got. And she says automatically, when I have been in the family, I am working in the family, I have these credits, this research work is a continuous process. I have also got the portfolio of the Home Minister, the Finance Minister, Child Development Officer, Human Resource Officer, and so on. The panelists were so impressed with her answers that they inducted her into the profession. What about grandmothers? If she was a research associate, grandmothers are executives in research. Aunties, aunts, young ladies, all are playing a great role in the development and character building of the child at home. I also remember a similar conversation which once took place between God and an angel. I would like to read it out so that you enjoy the conversation. When God created woman, he was working till late, and on the 6th day, an angel came by and said, "Why spend so much time on her?" And the Lord answered, "Have you seen all the specifications? I have to meet to shape her. She must be able to embrace several kids at the same time, give a hug that can heal anything, from a bruised knee to a broken heart. And she must do all this with only 2 hands. The angel was impressed. Just 2 hands? Impossible. And this is the standard model, Bhagwan said. God said, this is the standard model. Too much work for one day. Wait until tomorrow and then complete her, said the angel. I will not, said the Lord. I am so close to complete this creation with which she becomes the favorite of my heart. She cures herself when sick and can work 18 hours a day. The angel came nearer and touched the woman. But you have made her so soft, Lord. She is soft, but I have also made her strong. You can't imagine what she can endure and overcome. Can she think? The angel asks. The Lord answered, not only can she think, she can reason and negotiate. The angel was touched She touched the cheek of the women. Lord, it seems this creation of yours is leaking. You have put too much of burden on her. And the Lord says, she is not leaking. It's a tear. The Lord corrected the angel. What's it for? And the Lord said, tears are her way of expressing grief, her doubts, her love, her loneliness, her suffering, and her pride and happiness. This made a big impression on the angel. Lord, you are a genius. You thought of everything. The women indeed are amazing. All mothers, all ladies, all women are amazing. We develop relationships. We establish relationships after we are born. But it is only the mother with whom we establish relationship before we are born. She carries us 9 months in her womb. As the name Stri denotes, a woman is a combination of the sattvic, the tamasic, and the rajasic qualities. Sattvic qualities include love, tolerance, forbearance, and sympathy. Tamasic qualities in a woman include meekness, humility, kindness, and modesty. Meekness in a woman is necessary so that she may serve her family and society in the right spirit. There is a saying in Andhra Pradesh, judge a house by its mistress. The Rajaguna in a woman enables her to display valor, courage, and sacrifice. This quality signifies the preparedness of women when necessary to sacrifice their lives for the sake and honor of their family. Last night, when I was thinking what more could be shared with the audience here, I get a message again about an incident which took place in 2009. It is a conversation again between a cardiologist, a doctor, very well skilled in his field, done number of cardiac operations. He was sharing this experience of his with another friend. At present, the doctor being 69 years old, when he sat with his friend, he said that a mother and father came with a 6-year-old child, a daughter, to him. To get an appointment from this doctor was very difficult, but somehow they had managed because the girl had some heart problem. That is, her heart was fully clogged. And as is the practice, normally the junior doctors first try to see, and then if the case is to be referred to the senior doctor, they do so. Now they felt that this is a hopeless case, nothing can be done. But anyway, the file was moved, shown to the senior doctor. He went through it and he spoke to the parents, saying that the chances are only 30%. The condition is so bad that if we operate on the child, maybe on the operation theater table, she may give up her life. And if we don't, she has 3 months to live. Now this girl, the parents said that, okay, we'll take a chance. Please, doctor, admit her and treat her. A week before the operation, she was admitted in the hospital for all the preliminary things to be taken care of. And the mother was accompanying this girl. And she went on telling her, don't worry, nothing will happen to you. God resides in your heart. He will take care. And the child had heard this so often from the mother, and also the mother saying that continue to pray. I am also praying, you pray, God is within you, nothing will happen to you. The girl, just imagine, visualize, the child is taken to the operation theater where she's ready for the operation. The doctor comes in, pats the girl and says, "Don't worry, nothing will happen to you." And the girl says, "Doctor, I'm not worried, but I have a question to ask." And he says, "What is the question?" She says, "Everybody tells me not to worry, nothing will happen. There's God in my heart. And I'm told that I have to undergo open heart surgery. Doctor, tell me, will you fully open my heart?" And the doctor had no answer. So he again said, "No, don't worry." She says, "Doctor, I'm telling you, I'm not worrying. I just want to know, are you going to fully cut open my heart? Because my mother has told me that God resides in the heart. And what I want you to tell me is, when you cut open my heart, please see the God there, and when I become all right, let me know how was he." And this doctor, now ready to operate on the child with his clothes, everything sterilized, they cut open, and they really feel it's a, as said earlier, hopeless case. And he tells the nurse and the other junior doctors, "Please suture. We cannot do anything. The child is not going to survive." Because after having done what they wanted to do, there was no flow of blood in the heart. And then suddenly the doctor remembered that this child had said that God resides in the heart. And he mentally prays, "God, I don't believe in miracles, but if you are really there in her heart, please do something, because I have applied all my skills." While he was just mentally thinking this, the junior doctor, he just elbows the doctor and says, "Doctor, just see, the blood is flowing." And immediately he gives instructions to all the doctors to put on all those machines again, which he had asked them to stop. And so the operation continues for 4.5 long hours. The operation was successful. The girl, the doctor said, would live for nearly 60 years. And now he's sharing it with his friend. He says, "The girl will live for 60 years, but now I am worried." And the friend says, "Why are you worried?" He says, "When I go there to see this girl when she is recovering, and if she asks me the same question, 'Did you see the God inside my heart, doctor?' what will I say? I'm worried about the answer." And it is then that the friend says, "You don't have to worry. Tell the child that God cannot be seen, God is experienced." And then he says, the doctor says, "I was thinking that I am on top of the world. I have all these skills. I've done so many operations. I never believed in miracles. And this girl has made me cultured. Now I feel I'm a cultured doctor." And then the friend questions him. He says, "Who made this? How did this child ask this question? How could she ask such a question?" The credit goes to the mother. It is the mother who went on telling the child that God resides inside. See the faith and the trust both of the mother and the child, that they really felt, yes, God resides. And this is how miracles do take place. If there is faith, if there is trust, God is there. We don't have to seek him anywhere. He is there within us, inside us. And so the friend says, "Go speak to the child, tell her." And again, standing here as an educationist, as a teacher, I feel it is the responsibility both of parents and teachers to cultivate this culture of God in our children. We cannot, like an umpire, say, "No, the child is out of the game, cannot be done anything." This responsibility we have to shoulder, and we have to see that we can, the progress of the nation, as it is written here, depends on the mother. The culture also depends on how the parents bring up the children. And so, I think when we talk about women empowerment, this itself is empowerment. If the women of the family, of the home understand, then there is love, there is understanding, I'm sure this world will become a much, much better and a beautiful world to live in, where we do need the cooperation of our brothers and men too. We cannot just blame all the time ladies. Together, both men and women have to play a great role in the building of a nation. And with these few words, I once again thank you, Nirmala ji, and the organizers for giving me this wonderful opportunity and making me bring back all those nostalgic feelings. For 2 years I was in that building. We had the B.Ed program started here because the building at Anantapur was not ready, and once it was ready there, we were shifted back there because this happens to be a men's campus. How many number of interviews that Bhagwan has given. He has come to that building and interacted, and every time Bhagwan mentioned how a girl has to conduct herself, how a woman has to conduct herself, and how a mother of a house should be. I won't be taking much time. Thank you so much for patient hearing. I hope I could convey what I wanted to. Sairam to all of you.
For sharing your beautiful experiences with Bhagwan. I now request Mrs. Nirmala Murthy to honor Mrs. Vandita Sharma and Dr. Madhu Kapani. May I call upon our respected State President, Shri Nagesh Thakappa of Shri Sathya Sai Seva Organization, Karnataka, to address the gathering.
Om Shri Sai Ram. My most humble and reverential pranams at the divine lotus feet of Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba. Respected sisters on the dais, respected elders, brothers and sisters, Sai Ram to all of you. It is due to the immense grace, infinite compassion of Bhagwan that we have completed 7 years of Easwaramma Puraskara in Karnataka state. Every year, when Sister Nirmala Murthy ji and other sisters, they meet, we have come across so many sisters who have been doing wonderful service to the society. And truly, as Bhagwan directed us, it is our duty to honor them. It is our duty to recognize their services to the society. And with our limitations, we have been able to honor only 2 such recipients every year. So with the consent of Sister Nirmala ji, I would like to make an announcement. From next year, we will be awarding this Easwaramma Puraskara to 3 of our sisters every year. And they will be chosen from the 3 fields of healthcare, social service in rural development, and education. These are the 3 fields from where we will select our sisters to receive this Easwaramma Puraskara award. Yesterday I was talking to our All India President and reminded him that last year Mrs. Kamala Pandya was with us as a chief guest and she had narrated to him. And when I mentioned to him that we are having this Easwaramma Puraskara today, he told me that he is thinking of starting Easwaramma Puraskara in every state of India in years to come now. He even indicated to me, possibly, we will also have a national Puraskara of Easwaramma, national level Easwaramma Puraskara award. Truly, it will be wonderful. Again, I offer my gratitude to Bhagwan that it started from Karnataka state. As regards so many other programs, Bhagwan always blessed starting such programs in Karnataka. I also wish to inform our sisters that there is a All India Women's Conference coming up in September, and we want to involve more and more women in the activities of the organization. As our learned speakers mentioned, every home can be a bhajan unit. If the mother gets involved in starting a bhajan unit in the house, entire family gets involved. So prior to this All India Conference, which is slated sometime in September 2016, there will be a lot of interactions with women in every district of Karnataka, where we will take feedback, their suggestions to take it to this All India Conference. I request all the women devotees of Karnataka to take part in the district level interactions and give your suggestions. I have one more good news for our young sisters here. There is a World Youth Conference coming up during Guru Purnima in 2016. In fact, only last month, selected 80 young men and women from all over India, they met in Prashanti Nilayam as a think tank. They have come up with beautiful ideas of how we can have a mass youth movement of service activities in different parts of our country and abroad. For the first time, the youths from different countries of the world and India will get together and plan an action plan to take up these activities. I request all of you to involve more and more young girls from the colleges, from the other institutions, from our devotee groups, to involve them in the service activities that are being planned. I also want to mention on this occasion that by 2017 convocation of the Satya Sai Bal Vikas alumnus, there will be an online registration of all the Bal Vikas students who participated in Bal Vikas activity right from beginning, that is since 1970. All of them can register themselves on that online portal so that they all can get together at Prashanti Nilayam next year. These are a lot of activities being planned to make our activities widespread, involve more and more devotees to carry these activities forward. We only pray Bhagwan to continue to shower His grace and blessings on all of us so that we continue this sadhana of selfless service and love for the humanity. I take this opportunity again, thank both Sister Padmaja and Sister Srimati Patil to continue their good work, and pray Bhagwan to shower His choicest blessings on both of them so that they can, their services can reach out to more and more people in their respective areas. Thank you and Jai Sai Ram.
Our Joint State Coordinator for the Education Wing, Mrs. Asha Anand, will present the vote of thanks.
I offer my humble, loving pranams at the very beloved Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba on this blissful day, and my loving Sairams to all of you. Now, to start with, on behalf of Sri Satya Sai Seva Organizations, Karnataka, and Easwaramma Mother, Divine Mother, Easwaramma Puraskara Committee, I really extend my thanks to all these, Shakti Swarupinis, Matas, who are here, who are inspiring us with their beautiful words. Now, Adi Shankara says, Satsangatve Nisangatvam निस्संगत्वे निर्मोहत्वम, निर्मोहत्वे निश्चलतत्वम, निश्चलतत्वे जीवन मुक्ति. Yes, now we are in the satsang. Now let me start with Srimati Vandita Prasad. Madam, I must mention my deep sense of appreciation for your mesmerizing speech. I thank you. Then Srimati Madhuka Pani from Sri Satyasai College for Women, Anantapur. Madam, you have increased our positive thoughts and filled our heart with Sai love and multiplied the divine vibrations. And we thank you, Madam. I quote, good, better, best. Never let it rest till your good is better and better is best. Yes. दीन दुखियों के प्रेम करो मेरा, साई प्रसन्न होगा. You all know. Now I think love all, serve all, help ever, hurt never. You all know this refers to none other than Srimati Padmaja TJ and Shakuntala Patil, Srimati Shakuntala Patil. Madam, really you have ignited the minds of the Sai youths. Your dedicated service has really inspired us, and we thank you on behalf of Easwaramma Puraskara Committee. And Srimati Shakuntala Patil, ಆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಗಾದೆ ಇದೆ, ಮೂರ್ತಿ ಚಿಕ್ಕದಾದರೂ ಕೀರ್ತಿ ದೊಡ್ಡದು. See, she has inspired us so much. Really, she's a temple, she's like a moving temple. This body is the temple of God. Yes, by doing service, she has become one with the Dinadukhis. Madam, I really thank you. And now, Srimati Gangadhara Shetty Garu, Mrs. Ramaratnamma Garu. ಅವ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾನು ಏನು ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. See now, and she's really filled with so much of love towards her Sai fraternity. And I think I offer my koti namaskars to you, madam. And Kamala auntie and Mrs. Sheetal Dhakappa. They are all like Shakti Swarupini Matas. What shall I say about them? And how can I thank them? So again, my loving pranams to all of you, madams. Now, I thank the Bhishma Pitamaha of this Sai fraternity, Sri Gangadhara Shetty Garu. ಸರ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರೆಸೆನ್ಸೇ ನಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಡಿವೈನ್ ವೈಬ್ರೇಷನ್ಸ್ನ ಈ ಹಾಲಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಿದೆ. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಸರ್, ವಿ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಿ ಲವ್ ಯು ಅ ಲಾಟ್. ನೌ ಶ್ರೀ ಜಿ ನಾಗೇಶ್ ಢಾಕಪ್ಪ ಸರ್, ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ. I would like to take this opportunity to place on record our very big thanks for the perfect support and guidance extended towards for each and every activity, especially for this Easwaramma Puraskara. I thank you, sir. Yes, I should thank Lamu Bhutia auntie. You know, for her, yes, wait, still we have to taste the divine delicious foods. Okay, so Lamu auntie, I thank you on behalf of Easwaramma Puraskara committee. And we are waiting for your tasty dishes. And your team also. And now, I thank all the office bearers of Sri Satya Sai organization, Easwaramma Puraskara committee, and for the technical team, for the stage decoration, press and media, and we are lucky to be here for getting a very strong support from the Sai youths and our Balvika Sai alumni. Why not you give a big hand? And I thank for all the beautiful singing, bhajans and songs from our Sai Super Speciality Hospital and you, Sai youths. Okay. Yeah. Okay, now I think I have to stop here because we are waiting for the Mahamangalarati. Okay, and my Sairams to all of you. Sairam.
Let us now offer the Maha Manglarti to our loving Lord and His Divine Mother by the ladies.